This is Business Inspired GY, coming to you from the mining town of Linden. For those of you joining us for the first time, Business Inspired GY is a locally produced business magazine which seeks to inform and motivate through knowledge. We are in the factory of Pleasurable Flavours, a small manufacturing company specializing in hot sauces and seasoning. Speaking with us is Diana Prowell, the owner. Miss Prowell, could you share with us how Pleasurable Flavours was started?
Pleasurable Flavours was started about 7.5 to 8 years ago when I realized that I could not have by myself take care of my family to the capacity that I would have liked it to be. My daughter got a scholarship and I weren't able to send her because of financial constraints. My daughter, she had just finished Mackenzie High School and she got 9 subjects, and actually it's 11 subjects. She got 8 grade 2s and grade 3s and a 1. And then she said she wanted to learn architectural designing. And they had an ad in the newspaper stating that if you apply to the Humboldt University, if you write a letter stating why, that's all they had to do, right? Write a letter stating why they could accept you. And she wrote a letter. And on the first attempt of the letter, they accepted her because of the letter. And they sent us a letter stating that they have accepted her into the university, but they're going to pay part payment of her scholarship, that we've got to find her room and boarding. They're going to pay for the actual college. And when we did the investigation in Canada, it's $4 million a year. And when they said that shook us. That literally put us because we thought, okay, she's going to go to Humboldt, she's going to get to do the architectural design that she wants to do because she's very, very good with her hands, right? So, and I said, man, all right. And I sit and I was crying a lot. I was really crying because your children have an opportunity to better their education, but you cannot provide for it. And I was lying on my bed crying. Literally on the 23rd of February, while everybody was marching, I was crying. And I got an inspiration saying, fine, use your hands. And at that time, I literally had a 2-gallon bottle of pepper in the fridge. And my father used to drink a lot of vodka. So what I did, I wash out the vodka bottles, sterilize them. Then time we didn't have labels and all of that. And I decided to walk. And I walk around the Amelia's Ward right here where we live. And I got 25 of those vodka bottles. And I walk around the Amelia's Ward and I sell all that particular day. Everyone was sold out that day for $200 for one. And I came home back and I said, wow, I did this. This is a way now of me to work. Even if she didn't get to do homework, none of my children would be in a position where they have an opportunity to do something that I cannot do it. They literally. So the next day I went and I bought more pepper and I made. And for 3 weeks I walk and I sell those every day, and I keep increasing, and every day I sell. And I walk around the Amelia's Ward until I got enough money where I start now to buy equipment like the pots, because at first I was using my kitchen pots and all those stuff. And then I got to buy a bigger pot. And then I start working, and then I got to do labels. The labels, this boy Devin Sears was my first designer. And I called him, I said, this is what I have. This is my plans, this is my idea. How can you help me? He said, Diane, I know you long. I know Whitney. I taught Whitney. Whitney is smart. I can work on it. But we were still thinking of Humboldt at the time. We weren't thinking that it's not going to happen. You understand me? But and he helped me with the paper labels, normal paper labels, and he designed it. And he said, all right, and then we start now going with the labels. And then we start now acquiring some seals, some black and white seals. And we start putting on some black and white seals, and that's how we start moving. Till now, we're customized seals, and our labels are designed further. You understand me? So that's originally how we started. It so happened that she didn't get to go to Humboldt because we haven't made the money as yet. I mean, at the time when the scholarship was extended, we weren't able. But she works at the Bureau of Statistics, and now she's going to go to the university. And later on, she may get to go to Humboldt because she still has hope.
You have been producing hot sauces. You have been producing different seasoning using vegetables and fruits. Share with us, what are some of those vegetables and fruits you have incorporated in your production?
I'm glad you asked that question because it's important. Because one of the things that I've learned, and most of the things that come out of Pleasurable Flavors, is what I learned as a little girl literally from my grandmother. Because she was she was a woman that used to make everything. She always tell me, don't pay for what you can do with your hands. So I used to do a lot of things with my hands. The Pleasurable Flavors and the products is just a minute of what I can do.
On display are some of the products produced by Pleasurable Flavors. Diana, could you explain to us what it is we have here?
All right. First, we have the peppers. 7 different flavors we normally produce. There's the pawpaw, there's the celery, there's the ginger lime, the cucumber, the corilla, and the mango. There's one missing, which is the tamarind, which that will sell very fast because persons, for some reason, they like the tamarind more than anything else. But highest on our export markets is the pepper. The pepper is what the export markets are going for, the different flavors and the taste of it and all that. So that's a major thing that we take to our export market, right? So right now in the export market, you go into the countries and you in the Virgin Islands and in Tortola, you can get our products on the shelf there, right? So the 7 peppers is what we originally started with. We're maintaining it, and we want to go till to about 10 flavors in all, right? We want to bring the lime. We want to bring the lime. We got a garlic pepper we want to bring, and there's another surprise flavor that we're going to bring later on, right? And then there's this that is very nice, the relish. The slogan for this relish: if you don't like the heat, you go sweet. Right? This is no heat. You open this, it'll smell just as hot as the pepper. Wow. It will look just as hot as the pepper, but it have no heat. It's sweet. It's good. You can use this on your hot dog, on your salad, your children. In every home right now, there's somebody that don't like the heat. So we're telling you, try the sweet. And you can have your same nutrients, your vitamin E, your vitamin D, and all the things that the pepper of itself that gives you. You can get it in the sweet pepper relish. It's a high-end product. It's not as cheap as the hot pepper because it's a lot of things more you use to make the relish. So it's a bit expensive than the, you understand? So it's a high-end product, right? And we have it in 2 different sizes. We have the 12 ounce and we have the 5 ounce. So if you can't afford the big one, the small one would be nice. And then when you try the small one, I know you definitely don't want the small one no more. You don't go for the big one. Also, we have our green seasoning, right? Our green seasoning, you guys are going to get a chance to taste it, and you're going to tell us a bit about it. You can taste it. This is not seasoning that you only can have to put on your meat. You can taste it before to know if it's good for your meat. That's what we produce. And fruits are in it. You don't be surprised. People are fruits in your green seasoning. Yeah. You know what they're going to do to your meat? Very nice. And it's the right fruit. We didn't tell you it's a fruit. You don't have worries with fruit. All we know is that you have fruit in here. Right? And then we make a all-purpose sauce in 2 sizes, and American seasoning also we do. Right? We also do dried pepper. Remember, you have the liquid pepper now. So what we do, we dry it and give it to you flaky, so you can just sprinkle on your food. And we do the all-purpose also liquid. We do it dried, but that's already finished also. Right? So we have a dried all-purpose that you can just sprinkle, and that can work for you very much if you don't want the wet. You can use it dry. So we provide for all your needs. Everybody in Guyana and out of Guyana, we provide for your needs. You don't have to frighten. The cake fruits. This is a very good, I'm proud of this thing because persons have a tendency of saying, I don't like the fruits that have this grainy, endy. I sure you guys will say that a lot. I don't buy fruits because it always have the grain and the people say, how you get the grain? This is Pleasurable Flavors. We are here to please. And when we were thinking of a name, and I was already selling the product around the community, I asked them, what do you think I should name this company? And I give them samples to taste. And they came back with different names. And one of the names they came with is Pleasurable Flavors. And he said, this thing tastes real good. It's like, you eat it and it's like you're So I said, all right, that's how we got the name. You understand me? And he's so proud that he would have been able to contribute to Pleasurable Flavours as in the name. So everything that you eat at Pleasurable Flavours, it comes with high-end quality. You don't have to guess. You don't have to, well, if I am spending my money and I'm going to regret this, when I open it, I'm going to regret this thing. Yeah. No, you don't have to worry with that.
Diana, while you have been satisfying local markets, your products have found their way in regional supermarkets. How have you been able to do that?
We've been able to do that because of us not settling for just the local markets, and we've seen the need for persons out there, and persons have been trying our products, persons have been calling us. So when persons have been calling us, we decided to listen to the call, and we made some contacts. Furthermore, they would have contacted us, right? They would have contacted us and say, well, they've seen our products, they've tried our products, they're interested in our products. But because we didn't stop there, we started pushing it in the media. We use the media a lot on Facebook page and send our products. And persons would buy and they would send for their family because they would have tried it and they liked it. And they said, all right, the young lady called me and she said she's interested in our products. If we can acquire a badge to send, and we said, no problem. We never refuse anything. Even if we, at the moment, cannot do it, we're going to get it done. That's the whole thing. We have been supplying the Virgin Islands and Tortola. Those are the two markets so far. We are in talks with the U.S. because now we've understand we've got to get an agent in the U.S. So we finally got an agent in the U.S. and we're talking with him. We're getting our ISO certificate approved because in order for that market, we're working with that. We spoke to the individual yesterday. So we're going to work with that in order to get in the U.S. market. There's a market also that wants us very bad, the United Kingdom. We sent samples there, and the problem with them is getting the products into the United Kingdom is more expensive. So we have sent samples, they've liked the samples, but now it's getting it, the actual lump sum of product. It's not as easy as it is in the U.S. or in the regional market. So those are the things that we're looking towards soon in the future, in this close future.
Where do you see Pleasurable Flavours in the next 5 years?
In next 5 years, this factory that we're doing is going to be on its own, independent, Pleasurable Flavour by itself. There's 3 other businesses that we want to get into, right? There's other food processing plants and stuff that we want to build that we've already gotten the site for. I have on tomorrow, I'm supposed to be finalizing the paper on our land in order to have our farm land, because for Pleasurable Flavours, the Pleasurable Flavours are going to have its own farm. We are literally, in 5 years, we wouldn't have to depend on nobody to get anything. Right now, we're going to seek for loans and whatever, but in 5 years, we won't have to. We're going to be able to lend. If our workers are in need, we're going to be able to lend them and to support them. Right now, we do it right now, but we do it on a small portion. So if you know you want to do something, what are you going to do? Sit down and just take your little 25 bottles and just, no. What you're going to do is get educated. So some of the ways in which I would have worked on my challenges is that I would have educate myself with getting some action coach, some coaches to advise me as the business coaches that are normally there, right, that are in the world of business that can help you. You can find out all the different coaches. And I seek help from them. One of them is Action Coach. An Action Coach would have helped me a lot in structuring my business, in doing business plans, in doing up your ideas, in doing up your charts, in doing up your worksheet, in doing up even how the persons could answer the phone. That's one of the things that they would have helped us with. So that's helping me with that aspect of my challenges, getting educated as to the business. And in getting persons now to work in the business is another challenge, where you would have had to find the right person, find somebody that shares your same passion. So you've got to go through a set of interviews, because you've got to find somebody that loves making pepper, loves making seasoning, loves the idea of them contributing to society and to healthy eating. And this is how I'm dealing with the different challenges that we have. We have challenges. The bottles we're dealing with right now in seeking import and export markets for our bottles, but we are dealing with them in rational situations. We're dealing with it, I should say, at a timely manner and structure. I'm looking for the perfect word, but it's not coming to me right now. But we're dealing with all our challenges in that aspect, piece by piece. Where if we have a challenge, we're going to deal with how we're going to deal with the challenge, where we're going to get the funds from to deal with the challenge, and how we're going to go about dealing with the challenge, and we start dealing with it. Don't just start hurting your head and start thinking, oh gosh, how am I going to get this? How am I going to... Rational. Start thinking rational, focus, know your goal. Well, deal with it. Yes, deal with it accordingly at the right time.
Diana, what advice would you give to someone hoping to get into business?
First thing I would advise them, have a step of faith and don't limit yourself. And you may see yourself here, but you've got to put the first foot forward. Look and see what you have. Look and see what you're good at. There's many persons who try making money and then try to see if they can like this stuff. It don't work like that. Try and love it. Find something that you love to do. And when you're comfortable in doing it, then you said, all right, I'm going to get money out of it. There's many persons out there. You have an ability. You have a skill that you're comfortable about doing right now every day. You're doing it for people, whether you're doing hair, whether you're doing nails, whether you're mixing fruits, whether you're doing whatever, but you're doing it right now. And it's so nice, and people are enjoying it, and they're coming back, and you're comfortable doing it. Now sit down and strategize yourself and structure, how am I going to get money from it? Don't go and you doing fruits and you want to do architecture. No. Or you doing nails and you want to go and do painting. The same nails, but structure it now. All right, I love to do this. I normally do this by myself. I normally do it for people, for my family members. All right, they're going to pay $50. If I up it up with putting a little flair on it, I'm going to could up it up to $75. You understand me? And find a way to get money comfortably.
This has brought us to the end of another episode of Business InspireGY. We trust that Diana's story would have inspired you to follow your passion.